Boomba and Jux Boomba. I'm pretty sure there's not too much lore about this. The Jax stuff, I don't even know if the cinematic for Jax came out, where I believe Jax fought. Who did Jax fight? Was it Master Yi that he fought in the competition? And then Yi beat the shit out of him or something? Or the other way around? Or was it Irelia? Fuck, I don't remember. Fiora? Was it Fiora that beat the fuck out of him? God, it's so long ago. Literally like a lifetime ago. It's 10 plus years ago. Oh, God, well. Alright, let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm surprised you remember this shit. Like, did you just recently watch all this stuff? So, God damn, man. It was a cinematic, right? That's what it was? Whereas, like, he's in a competition, then Fiora comes up and just beats... Whoa, wait, wasn't that the introduction to Fiora Champion Spotlight or something like that? Oh, okay, fair enough.
My name is Tyler, and I'm here to present to you...
Well, again, I'm sorry, it's so quiet. I'm gonna have to talk a bit less loud.
Episode of Lore of League of
Kind of
Legends.
annoying.
Today we're going to talk about Jax, the Grandmaster at Arms, as well as his friend Grab.
Yeah, the Summoner Showdowns, the dojo. Yeah, man. I remember this shit.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. Beat the shit out of him. This all started with Yasuo, I believe, the dojo stuff. It started doing it because of Yasuo, I think, right? Oh. Encore! On guard!
Is this even a real weapon? Alright. You got some bite.
Jusqu'à la mort.
Oh my god. See, the other thing that doesn't make a lot of sense, man, I miss the channel. I remember watching every video they did. Yeah. It was pretty cool, the dojo stuff. Oh, cool animations too. But here's what doesn't make sense. Why does she have a French accent if she was born in Demacia? You know? So weird. Okay. Just give her a French accent for reasons. Okay, anyways, go back to the video.
Argus, the Rabble Rouser. Enjoy. In many cases, history of a man can lead him into the League of Legends as an award of what he has achieved. It is not a rare case that heroes and seasoned veterans are brought into the league to make sure that they're skillful enough to represent their city-state. Jax is a completely different case. Barely anyone knows...
Bro, is it me? I should all be speaking American. No. I'm not saying that. But, I mean, if you're born in Demacia, grew up in Demacia, still live in Demacia, shouldn't you have the same accent as people in Demacia? It's not Canada where you have like French Canada and you have English Canada. It's Demacia. They all speak the same way. You know, it's like, why is she... Not only she has a French accent, she speaks French. Why? I know that's like flavor text, but it's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, why is she speaking like this when she's born in Demacia? If she was born somewhere else, I wouldn't give a shit. I mean, I personally don't really give a shit regardless, but it's kind of weird.
was his past before he stepped...
Also, is it me or Jax really doesn't look like Jax here? Aside from like the 6 eyes, like, he looks way fatter in the game. Like, he looks circle. He looks like a circle in the game.
through the doors of the Institute of War. He was a mercenary, a man for hire. He could do anything you needed as long as you had the money to offer in return.
Ooh.
But there was nothing else to him. He didn't slay any dragons, he didn't defeat a whole army of Noxus, and neither he let himself get corrupted by the monstrosities of the Void. And yet, for some unknown reasons, Jax has been put at the very top of the list of candidates to the League when it was first created. To this very day, his judgment interview that each champion needs to go through before being accepted into the League has been one of the shortest.
Oh.
As soon as Jax stepped into the Great Hall, the doors of acceptance opened, glowing with a faint light. None of the summoners were even able to gather any information about the Weapon Master, nor gain any sight into his thoughts. He was gone before his trial had even begun.
Okay.
Since that day, Jax has been terrorizing the fields of justice. His every appearance was followed by numerous bloodshed and opponents running away from the mysterious fighter. Jax has even set a couple of league records himself, including a few that are still to be matched. He was certainly an unremarkable figure, but his presence makes many summoners very nervous.
I remember the whole like problem. Like one patch, Riven beats Jax easily. The other patch, Jax demolishes Riven easily, and it's like just goes back and forth with every patch.
The league representatives grew concerned. That force of Jax can be too high to be matched by anyone else, and as such, his presence made fights on the field of justice unbalanced. And summoners with Jax on their side had a huge advantage.
Oh.
That is why the league's council had to react. But they've put numerous restrictions on Jax, limiting moves that he could.
See, this looks like Jax. He's circled. Wait, so Jax was so overpowered for some reason as just a random mercenary. And I believe he was so overpowered at some point where he was like literally a one-man army. Just 1v9, like for like with 1 or 2 items. But I guess he was like that in the lore too.
Perform weapons that he could use, or even armor that he could wear. This has never happened in the League of Justice, neither before or after the Jax incident. Jax was not happy about that,
Okay.
and in anger he tore a brass lantern from the ground and grabbed it like a polearm, proclaiming it the only weapon he will ever need. Without any further explanations, he returned to the fields of justice, and apparently a lack of weapon was just a minor setback, as Jax was not getting any less dangerous, wielding nothing but his trusty lamppost.
We became the Blood Elves. Selama Shalanore. I am Prince Kael'thas, and the time for a reckoning.
Okay, it doesn't say it here. Every time I hear setback, I'm like, Kael'thas. Every time I hear was merely a setback, I'm like, bro, that's Kael'thas right there.
League sanctions have not stopped him from being a deadly warrior, and even when they have been lifted, allowing Jax to use any kind of weapon he needed, the Grandmaster was not interested in the League's little decisions. The lantern is still his only weapon, and he is not intended to drop it in favour of anything else.
Okay.
Currently, Jax has become a good friend with another champion of the League, Gragas.
Why?
There are places on Runeterra
Because they're both round? Is that why?
that are friendly and generally beneficial for people inhabiting them, such as Demacia or Ionia.
I hate Gragas with a fucking passion. I really hate him. He's such an like, he's not overpowered ever. He's not really weak, but for some reason, I just hate him. I hate that his dash knocks you up and stuns you, and for some reason, Gragas players always time it at the perfect time when you're about to unleash your combo on them, and it's just like, oh, here's my stomach, fuck off.
Yeah. There are far less friendly places where living is hard, like these in Freljord or Zorn, and then there are places that are completely hostile towards their people, where the grounds are not fertile enough to grow any crops and animals are wild and deadly. Gragas had been born and grew up in one of the latter. In the foothills of the Great Barrier Mountains have not been better for him than anyone else, and because of that, Gragas had to grow as a tough, hard man. His fortitude and endurance allowed him to survive his early years, and now he had no reason to leave this place. This is where he set up his residence, south of Noxus, not bothered by unwanted eyes. There he set up his home, away from the filth of civilization.
I swear, that is totally not what I would expect Gragas' backstory to be. I thought he would be like some drunk sitting in bars, but he would be undefeated in like the bard brawls that they would have. Like no one could beat Gragas in a brawl, and then he decided, you know what, I'm tired of the bar brawls and I want to go to be a champion in the Institute of War. That's really what I expected at this point.
No neighbours, fresh air, clean water, and enough free space to set up a fully functional brewery to help him realise his lifelong goal, to make the best brews in the world.
Get drunk
This place is Gragas' personal paradise.
all day, every
He
day.
creates all sorts of wondrous drinks, ale, grog, mead, wine, or whatever else a man could dream of. Gragas is a true master in his craft. But it is not his brew mastery that makes his creation so special and attention-worthy.
Yeah.
It is the location that he's chosen for his brewery. Perhaps not
I
even
thought it was his magnificent belly that knocks people into the air.
realizing that. As it turned out, Gragas' brewery had been located close to a large, powerful, and still active nexus.
Oh,
Its
okay.
power has been affecting what Gragas had created and made his drinks special in a unique way.
Okay.
No one could ever tell what effect that Gragas' drink would have, and if that could have been even described. It remains unknown whether his alcohols had the same effect on everyone, or does it depend on a person. One is certain, though, that the amounts of his own brews that Gragas created were rather high. They did not cause him to gain some extra weight, they literally made the man grow.
You're telling me he didn't gain any weight? Look at him. How did he not gain any weight? Are you kidding me? He was like that to begin with and just like enlarged?
He's been turned into a titan of a man, towering
Oh,
over
God.
other people in the crowd, not only with his height, but weight as well. Gragas had become absolutely huge, and with his size, his character changed as well.
Oh yeah.
He's become more of a wild, unsettled spirit, driven by pure alcohol and wild magic that
Yeah.
keeps him going forward. Gragas has become known of his trips to Noxus that he made in order to resupply his brewery, and yet they've all ended in a really similar manner. Since he was already in Noxus, Gragas would decide to grab a drink in the local tavern that he would later demolish when provoked by some random harmless comment. After destroying the interior of said inn and knocking out numerous people, Gragas would head out and disappear between the hills.
Bro, tell me I wasn't close when I said like he was going to bars and going and like doing bar brawls. Tell me I wasn't close. And then he decides to go to Art of War. He goes to fucking Institute of War.
Followed by reluctant pursuit of the Noxian military force, who never wanted to have anything to do with the drunken behemoth.
Oh god.
The actions of the brewmaster and his fame in Noxus have drawn the attention of the League's summoners, who have offered
Bro, these summoners have no standards. They straight up have no standards. Yo, I heard about this guy who just tears down bars. Yo, we gotta summon this guy and getting into the Institute of War. Absolutely no standards for their participants.
Gragas a trial. He's been accepted into the League, and now he can teach other people about his school of hard drinks and hard fists.
Oh my god,
And
bro.
that's all we prepared for you. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave your feedback below.
Some drunken guard just came to the fucking Institute of War to fight some celestial beings with his drunken fist. Oh my god, bro. No standards. It's hilarious. Okay. I think we will stop at number 25, Blitzcrank and Victor. So next one will be the last one for today. 25 out of 150, that is 1/6 of the stuff. Oh my god, there's so much. Shit.